Hi, welcome. It's fantastic to see you. I am just trying to see if my cat wants to join me. She's been trying to get my attention for a little while. Come on, darling. Oh, up you come. Whoops. Here she is. Oops, here she is. Covered by my hair. Hello, my darling. So today's question is really a great one. And remember, if you have any questions, there she goes. If you have any questions, do pop them in the chat box so that they show up and I can interact with them. So today's question is about whether or not intellectual property is an asset. And for those of you who don't know much about intellectual property, this is a really important question for you to be paying attention to. As you know, I've written a book about all the different types of intellectual property. And yes, intellectual property is an asset. It can be more than one. This is an asset. It's my asset because I am the author of this book, as you can tell. Over here. Oh, I always have such fun when I'm trying to show stuff on the screen. But yeah, so this is an asset, and this is an intellectual property asset. And I'm adding myself to the stream. I'm sorry about that. There was an outage in my internet connection. Um, so what I was about to say is, because I have written this book, it looks like my internet is a little bit low today, just so you know. Because I have written this, there is copyright connected to it. And the minute you write something, copyright occurs automatically. As long as it's something you haven't copied and pasted, by the way. Because copying and pasting stuff is known as plagiarism, and that is really not advisable. So the important thing is that you know and understand that this is an asset. This is my intellectual property asset because I've written it. And as I said, it's my way of expressing myself. So this is my copyright. And because I'm me, I've got my trademark on every single page, as you can tell somewhere over here. So that's one asset. Another intellectual property is my trademark. And you know that I've put my trademark on every single page in here. What else? A patent is an asset. In case you are somebody who invents things, either for fun or for business purposes, that is intellectual property. Trade dress is another thing that is intellectual property. So most of you will remember back in the, well, not most of you, but some of you will remember back in the day, the certain shape of the Coca-Cola bottle. I don't have one with me, so I can't show you. But the Coca-Cola bottle was shaped after a specific female dress or dress that women wore back in the day. I say female because back in the day it was primarily women who were wearing dresses. Now you can be anybody and wear a dress if you want. It doesn't really matter. So that shape of that is an intellectual property asset, because I'm quite sure they registered that as a trademark. What else can we think of? Well, design. So if you are somebody who designs, for instance, furniture, we have in Denmark, I'm not in Denmark now, but in Denmark there is a famous architect who also designed furniture, Arne Jacobsen, and his designs are definitely intellectual property assets. So if you have any questions, do pop them in the chat box. Otherwise, I can't see them. And I would so love to hear any questions from you. If you don't have any, that's totally fine. Don't worry about it. And today's question, for those of you who are just joining, is intellectual property an asset? And it is really important to know and understand, because a lot of you people on LinkedIn are creating things that are worth protecting. And that's what I do. I help people know and understand the value of what they create so that I can help them register their trademark. Anyway, what else can we think of? Well, many of our phones, this is an iPhone, are intellectual property assets in and of the fact that they fall under the trademark of Apple. It could be Samsung, it could be Nokia, it could be Sony. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Apple. It doesn't matter which brand it falls over under. I mean, I'm so funny today. What trademark it falls under, or what brand it falls under. The brand is often registered as a trademark. That was what I wanted to say. Sometimes I say some really funny things. What else can we think of? So we've covered books, we've covered phones, furniture. There are courses or systems or whatever it is that you create that might be an intellectual property asset. Because if you are a coach or a mentor, you may have created your own signature system or process or program that you take people through, and that too will be an intellectual property asset. As I say, do pop any questions down below so that I can help answer your questions. If you don't have any, that's totally fine. I've been waffling for 9 minutes now, so I can talk about trademarks till the cows come home, don't get me wrong, and intellectual property, because this is not just about trademarks. So there are patents as well. So if you were somebody who was in the medical profession, you might have invented the cure for something, and you definitely want to protect that. You might even have created a process that you take clients through from a medical perspective that can be an intellectual property asset in itself. So there are many things. And this is not an area that is going to diminish in any way, shape, or form, because with the Web3 that is coming, as we all know, People are starting already to register their marks for the metaverse, so it's not going to go away. And it's about, being upfront with these things, because there are businesses that have registered their marks for the metaverse, as I said before. What else? What else? What else? What else? There are so many things out there. Watches can be thought of as intellectual property assets. This particular watch was designed by my late mother's late husband. He designed it for George Jensen, eller Geo Jensen, as we say in Danish. Geo Jensen. It is an intellectual property. It was for my late mother's late husband. It is definitely also for Geo Jensen. I don't know if they still sell them. I've seen one in York that looks precisely like this one. So if you are near York and you want a watch like mine, go get it. Don't worry, I'm not affiliated. I do get royalty because I am one of his heirs. So yeah, that's just a bit of transparency. There are so many different professions out there. I can't cover every single one of them, but it is safe to say that people who innovate and create, I mean, even photographers, in many instances, what they create is their unique expression of something, whatever it is they're taking a photograph of. We can go back and talk about the copyright case of the monkey selfie, because there was an American animal rights organization that wanted the copyright to go to the monkey that had taken the selfie, and that is not actually possible because intellectual property is assigned to humans, copyrights in particular. I don't know if it's going to evolve with AI and all that. We will have to see what happens. But it's really interesting, I find. So yeah. Anyway, nobody has popped any questions in. I will leave a few moments for anybody who might have questions and see if you want to pop anything into the chat box for me to address. If not, I will wrap it up fairly soon. I mean, I've been talking for 13 minutes and 12 seconds right now. So, it's not as if it's not going on. I mean, it's not as if I haven't spoken about anything. Remember that I'm always here every single Tuesday, 12 noon. And if you want to purchase my book, I shall pop in the link for you so that you can find it. And I will also, when I go on to LinkedIn, pop it on there so that it can be clicked, because when I show comments here, they are not clickable. Let me also show it. There you go. So it's grandipr.dk/publications. It's fairly easy. You can find my website on my profile here on LinkedIn, or on YouTube. You can I'll pop it in on YouTube as well. Actually, I don't know. I think you can find my LinkedIn profile on YouTube, because I think I've got a link directly from YouTube to my book, if I'm completely honest. And that way you can just click directly and purchase this little book, because it covers all the intellectual property. It's not very thick, as you can tell. And anybody who buys a book directly from me, they get a little dedication. If you buy it on Amazon, I have no control over that. Either way, thank you so much for spending time with me this noon. Again, I'm on next Tuesday. This is a recurring event. I talk about intellectual property in general and copyrights and trademarks specifically. So if you have any questions that are related to patents, I can read about it in my book, but it's not very interesting for you. So that is not my forte. However, I thank you so much for your time and have a fantastic day. And I shall see you next Tuesday. Over and out for now. Bye.